Hello students, this video will be introducing Sketchbook 2. For this sketchbook you'll have 4 pages to do. The first page will involve shading a sphere, very common exercise for learning value. The second exercise will be doing cubes in perspective, so that involves using a horizon line and learning how to make a cube that vanishes in the proper perspective. The third exercise will be a fun perspective road drawing where you have a road that goes to a horizon line and you can draw in all kinds of objects to also vanish to the proper perspective. And then the last one will be a color scheme drawing that you do whatever you want to draw and whatever you have to draw with, just do it in a color scheme, meaning an analogous color scheme or a complementary color scheme, monochromatic could be. So just pick a color scheme and then you can draw whatever you want. So it'll be 4 pages to work on for this sketchbook, and I think it'll be fun. You'll probably learn a little bit, especially if you've never done any of these exercises before. All right, thank you and good luck.
Again, label all your drawings with the appropriate exercise. Take good photos, make sure that they're flat, turn it as a PDF, points reduced for unsatisfactory format, and anything you want, any tool you want, 8x11 paper. For Sketchbook 2.1, we're just going to shade a ball. We're going to have a highlight, a midtone, a core shadow, a reflected light, a cast shadow. You just need a pencil and an eraser. So when you do this, you're going to have a light coming from one direction, and then you're just going to shade the ball with a pencil. So here's an example. See, you got your light source coming from the left, your highlight, your midtone, your shadow, your reflected light, and then your core shadow. All right, so here I go. Sketchbook 2, exercise 1. Make sure you label it as such. I just found a random jar to trace so I can get a perfect circle. Drew my shadow in. I'm just going to start shading. And the shading is a gradual process, so I'm just filling it in, just shading it a little bit here and there, building it up more. It's okay if it goes outside the lines. You can erase those later. So just keep shading. Make sure your reflected light is a little bit lighter than your darkest part, which is where the core shadow is, because the light reflects up from the ground. And then your highlight will be your lightest point. That's where I'm erasing right now. I'm smoothing it out a little bit to make it a little more of a gradient. I'm just adding in, and then finally, so there's where my light's coming from. I got my highlight, my midtone, my core shadow, that's my darkest part. My reflected light, that's where a little bit lighter, that's where light's coming up from the ground. Then I have my cast shadow. Right underneath is going to be the darkest area of the entire picture, because no light can escape there, and then it gradually will get lighter. So that's how you do exercise 1. Sketchbook 2, exercise 2 is 1-point perspective cubes in space. So if you don't know how to do this, so if you're having trouble with the 3 cubes, click this link here. This will take you to a video that explains it very simply for you. So for this one, it's really pretty easy. I'm just going to draw my horizon line, and then I just draw flat, perfect squares. One above the horizon line, one below the horizon line, and one across the horizon line. And then from each angle, I'm just going to draw straight lines. The ones that are facing the vanishing point, that's a little dot in the center. And then I close off my boxes. See that? Closing them off. And we're just going to close off, erase out the line so there's just boxes. Closing off my one that crosses the horizon line. and then put my horizon line back in. Then I'm just going to draw a little light coming from here. So this area is going to be dark. This area is going to be dark. That'll be a little darker because the one on the bottom gets a little light that bounces up. The front will be dark. The front of that one will be dark. Okay. So those are the areas getting light, and those are the areas not getting light. All right, and then Sketchbook 2.3. This is 1-point perspective road scene. So you just need a road, a horizon line, and some stuff. This is a fun exercise. If you're having trouble with the 1-point perspective road drawing, come to this website here. There's all kinds of concepts about perspective here. You can learn a lot from perspective by looking through this website. So those are 2 resources for helping with the perspective stuff. Here's some examples. You don't have to be this elaborate, but it's just a 1-point vanishing point, and then you draw objects going towards the vanishing point. There's a little cartoony one. So again, I'm going to put Sketchbook 2-point exercise 3. Draw my horizon line, my vanishing point. Now to make my road, I'm just coming out of my vanishing point. Then I'll have my little dividing lines from the road. They get smaller as they move towards the vanishing point. Okay. Then I'm going to draw a fence here. My fence is below the horizon line. So I'll be able to see the little tops of the posts. And they get bigger, or they get smaller as they go in the distance. Yeah, I'm going to connect them with a little barbed wire or something, some wire. And I'm going to draw in a little building here. Now this one's going above the horizon line. So that means when I draw my orthogonals, I'm going to have them come down towards the vanishing point. Remember, everything's got to go towards the vanishing point. In 1-point perspective, there's always a flat surface. Okay, that's going towards the vanishing point, little windows. And make sure you look at the website that I'm going to link into the sketchbook under the Ultimate Perspective Guide. If you want to get more in depth with this, there's a lot more advice as to how to do this. So check out that Ultimate Perspective Guide if you want to know more. If you think you got it and you can make the 1 point, then just go for it. Remember, everything. So this cactus is going above the horizon line. Everything's got to go towards that vanishing point. The further things get, the smaller they'll be. Here we got some light from here. And I'm just going to shade a little bit certain areas. So just you can put whatever you want in your road drawing. You could put houses, you could put animals, you could put cars, you could put buildings, you could put mountains and desert. Just try your best to have some fun and create some perspective. And I'm just going to shade up that roof there a little bit. What I'm even doing here. Oh, I'm just shading the side of the building because there's no light that gets to that side. And then lastly, I'm just going to put in a little sidewalk here. There we go. A little sidewalk. Walk on. You could spend a lot more time on this if you wanted. All right, Sketchbook 2, Exercise 4. This is the color scheme one. So on the color scheme sketchbook, exercise 4, you can draw anything you want. Anything that you want to draw, you can draw. You just need to come up with a color scheme. So analogous, complementary, it could be monochrome, or it could be warm, cool, anything you want. And then all you got to do is just color it in. All right, so that's the last one. You can color it with anything you want. Anything that you have to color with. Watercolors, pens, you have markers, you have crayons, anything that you can find to color it with. So let's take a look at some color schemes. Here's our orange and blue. It's a complementary color scheme where the two are across from each other. Here's a red and green color scheme. We got an octopus in the kind of a greenish waters. So there again, contrasting color scheme or complementary color scheme. Analogous colors, so red, orange, and yellow would be an analogous color scheme. And here's an example of a picture all constructed with orange, yellow, and red. And then also monochromatic. So this is one of Picasso's blue period paints, all constructed out of blue. So you could use any of those type of options. Here's some student examples. Orange and blue complementary color scheme made last semester. Here's another orange and blue one made last semester out of watercolor. Here is a purple and yellow complementary color scheme, a purple and yellow complementary again. And then here's a kind of a greenish blue monochrome. So anything that you want, just draw what you want and color it any way you want. Have fun with it. So label all your drawings, take good photos, turn them in as a PDF. Remember, points reduced for unsatisfactory format. Good luck. Thank you.